Okay, this video is called The Best VPN for Netflix. Okay, so what is the best VPN for Netflix? Now, a year or so ago, there's quite a bit of competition for this. You could look at the different speeds and the different countries it had available. As you know, Netflix, if you relates basically to whichever country you're in. So if you're in Australia, you get the Australian version of Netflix, the US version of Netflix, and so on. People used VPNs to switch to different versions. So if you're in France and you don't speak French, you're going to get the French version of Netflix, which of course has got lots of French and subtitled and dubbed movies, which is probably not what you want. But if you used a US VPN, you could switch to the US version and watch it all in English. Stuff like that. And people watch different versions in different countries. There was a lot of competition. Then suddenly everything changed. Netflix actually instigated something that basically stopped 99% of these VPNs working. What they did was put a ban on any access from any non-residential IP address. That's to say, if your IP address was registered as a commercial address, you wouldn't get access to Netflix. You get blocked. Now, this isn't a problem for most people, but for all VPNs, it was a huge problem because they were all on commercial IP addresses. And suddenly, very nearly overnight, they all stopped working. But there have been some changes now. A few of the VPN providers, 2 or 3 at time of speaking, have managed to get around this. What they've done is actually bought infrastructure which has got residential IP addresses. Now, it's quite difficult to do this. This is why not many of them still work. They're very expensive residential IP addresses. They're normally only assigned through your ISP, but of course, commercially, they're not available unless you know where to look. So I'm going to just show you now one of the companies who did have got a residential network now in response to this, and it's called Identicloak, and it's one I've been using for many years. It, like all the others, stopped working with Netflix. They went back and updated their servers and their infrastructures, and now they have residential IP addresses only for use with Netflix. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it works now. I'm in the UK, and so I normally get the UK version of Netflix. What I'm going to do is go to the USA, use my VPN to go to a US server. Netflix Identicloak normally just sits in the bottom corner there. I can select the server. There's servers all over the world. I'm going to use a US one now because I want to show you US Netflix. Okay, so I'm from the UK. I've connected there. And I'm going to go to my Netflix account. You do obviously need a Netflix account, and I'm going to go through here and see if we can access the Netflix site. Here we go, and it's going to the browse screen, and we're on to the Netflix site. And you can see, well, I noticed because I'm used to the UK one, this is the US version. Not the UK one. One of the reasons is Lost isn't on the UK one, for instance. But there's lots of common films, but there's lots more on the US. Somebody suggested there's something like 6,000 or 7,000 more movies and films on the US version than there are on any of the others. Let's start Lost, because I know that isn't on the UK one. And there we go, it's just streaming. I'll stop it now so I don't get told off by the copyright people. But you can see it streams, it's very fast. Identicloak is one of the best VPNs for Netflix, simply because it still works. Most of the others don't work now. What you'll normally get now is you'll get that little proxy warning when you go to try and get access to the US version of Netflix or any version. Because you're on a commercial IP address from a standard VPN provider. Okay, well, that's basically it. I hope it's a quick demonstration of the best VPN for Netflix, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.